Hello dear students, welcome to our next practical of Econ 367, that is Financial Management in Agribusiness. In today's practical session, we are going to discuss about the assessment of credit requirement for food grain crops. In that, we are particularly talking about the Kharif rice. Okay, so let's start. Any cultivator, or let's say any farmer, invests in his land either from his own saving, or he has to borrow from other financial agencies or other financial resources. Okay, then private credit agencies do not ask for many documents while giving loan, but their interest rates is very high. Okay, whatever the different private credit agencies are there which provides agriculture finance to the farmer, they not ask for many documents while giving the loan, but their rate of interest is very high as compared to other we can say the public sector agencies. Okay, then institutional credit is the main source of credit to the cultivators. Okay, so this institutional credit, in that number of banks are available with them. So these all institutional credit or credit institutions are the main source of credit for the farmers. In that the cooperatives and commercial banks provide various kinds of credit to the farmers. Okay, crop loan is a short-term credit and is generally obtained from primary credit cooperatives, let's say the primary agriculture cooperative credit societies of the village for or from the commercial banks. Okay, so these crop loans or the short term loans generally obtained from the PACs, that is primary agriculture cooperative credit societies, or the commercial banks available with the farmers nearby the places. Okay, then loan sanctioned to the extent of 1/3 of the gross value of the produce. Okay, the loan sanction amount is about the 1/3 of the gross value of the produce. Okay, then the total cost of cultivation is considered while granting loan money is repaid after the harvest of crops. Okay, in the at the time of sanctioning of the loan, the total cost of cultivation is considered and is repaid after the harvest of crop. Okay, so what is the loan procedure for the crop loans? For obtaining a crop loan from a primary cooperative society, cultivators has to become a member of that particular society by paying entrance fee and by purchasing the shares of the society. Okay, so this is the first step to get the crop loans from the primary cooperative societies. The cultivator has to become a member of that particular society by paying entrance fee as well as the purchasing shares of the society. Then he has fill up the application. Cultivators has to submit certain documents, then particularly documents for providing land for security and few no objection certificates. Okay, this is the another step, that is the he has to fill up the application form and submit certain documents required for that loan procedure, then documents for providing land for security and few no objection certificates. Okay, these documents are included or attached with the loan application. Then cultivators should also obtain signature to sureties. Okay, he has to get two guarantors, let's see. Okay, then if he is obtaining loan from the private credit cooperatives, he should submit his loan application at nearest branch of the particular commercial bank. Okay, if he is obtaining loan from the primary credit society, he should submit his application at the nearest branch of the particular commercial bank. Okay, sorry, there is one correction. If he is obtaining loan from the primary credit cooperatives, then he should submit his loan application in that particular primary credit cooperative bank. And if he wants to obtain a loan from a commercial bank, then he has to reach to the nearest branch of that particular commercial bank and submit the loan application. Then agriculture finance officer of the bank will examine loan proposal. If necessary, he will pay personal visit to the farmer's field and he will give his recommendation for sanction of the loan. And finally, loan is sanctioned by the appropriate authority of the bank. This is the loan procedure for crop loan. Then there are two methods. There are two methods which are used for the granting of loans. In that loan, we can say the loan is granted by one of the following methods. In that, two methods are there. First one is the 1/3 of the gross value approach, and second one is the 75% of the input cost approach. Okay, these two methods are utilized, or one method from these two is utilized while granting the loans. Let's see first one, 1/3 of the gross value approach. Okay, in that the yield of paddy is assumed 75 quintals per hectare. Then price for per quintal paddy is about 600. Then gross value, how we calculate the gross value? The 35 quintal paddy into 600 rupees per quintal, it becomes 21,000. And the in this is the main product. Okay, and the byproduct value is 2,100. So by adding these two quantities, we got 23,100. This is the total, or we can say the gross value of that particular crop. Okay, then this method indicates 1/3 of the gross value. That's why another formula is utilized here, that is 1/3 of the gross value is it is calculated by 23,100, here 100 into 1 divided by 3. Okay, so here we get 7,700 is the amount which can sanction to that particular farmer. So bank will sanction rupees 7,700 for per hectare for paddy crop, and remaining money cultivator should manage from some other sources or from his own savings. Okay, so here 1/3 of the gross value approach is utilized in this method. Then second method is 75% of input cost. Okay, in this here are some particulars or some atoms of cost required to produce a particular crop. Okay, in that first two atoms are hired labor charge and bullock labor charge. Okay, then in that the hired labor charge quantity required is 221 days, then bullock labor charge 25 days, and the rates are given for that particular particulars. Then these two that is the labor charges, the total labor charges required are 11,927. Okay, in this method the 50% of labor charges are calculated. Okay, so for 11,927, the 5,953.50 is the 50% of labor charges. Okay, here only 50% of labor charges are considered in this method. And why about the different inputs required for the production of that crop, in that seed material, FYM, fertilizers like urea, single superphosphate, muriate of potash, and plant protection like phorate, endosulfan and dimecron. Okay, endosulfan is banned now. Okay, but it is for just your example. Okay, so by addition of these quantities of inputs, we get 9,811.86. This is the total cost required for the inputs. Then we are taking the 75% of input cost. That's why the 75% of 9,811.86 is 7,358.9. Okay, these two values are important for us, that is the 5,953.50 and 7,358.90. okay, so in this method, that is the 75% of the input cost approach, the total credit granted is calculated by 50% of labor cost and 75% of the input cost. Okay, so when we add these two figures of 50% of labor cost and 75% of input cost, then we get the 13,312.40. this is the amount that can the bank will sanction to the farmer. So bank will sanction rupees 13,312.40 per hectare for paddy crop, and remaining money cultivator should manage from some other source or from his own savings. Okay, so this is about the 75% of input cost approach. Here one important point is there, the credit requirement may differ from region to region and as per the policies formulated by the bank time to time. The further banks may consider one of the approaches mentioned above while granting the loan of particular farms. Okay, so this is an important thing, that is the credit requirement may differ from place to place or region to region, and as per the policies formulated by bank, or we can say the as per the changes in the policies. Okay, so the amount will be changed, or further bank may consider one of the approaches mentioned above, that is the 1/3 of gross value approach or 75% of input cost approach. Okay, so this is about the what we say, the assessment of credit requirement for food grain crops. Thank you.